to this video that I've been seeing, floating around. I've been seeing videos from this guy floating around on my YouTube channel, on my YouTube feed for quite some time. It's called Deconstructing Narcissism. So we're going to watch this video. I'm going to give my thoughts and my reactions. My biggest concern is that I'm starting to see a type of individual being pushed through the algorithm. Excuse me. These individuals are very pessimistic. They feel like everyone else is the problem. They feel like they're stuck in life, and they're looking for people to scapegoat. They're not offering any solutions. They're just complaining and ranting. So let's see what this man has to say, and I will give my commentary as we go.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel, Deconstructing Narcissism. Been quite a while. I am still trying to find time to make a consistent schedule where I can pump out videos at least once or twice a week, but I am now having to work 5 days a week, 10.5 hours or more a day for around 50 to 60 hours a week to be able to at least save up a little more money, because things are getting so much more expensive. I still don't technically have to work.
So I just want to stop there. First of all, why are you working so much for so little pay? Like, what are you doing, or what haven't you done in the past? Have you not acquired a skill set? This man looks pretty young. He looks like he is military age. Why are you working all these hours for no money? Like, what's going on? I need like a backstory about your history. Do you have mental health issues? It seems like you have a nice car, so I need a backstory. Let's go on.
That much, but $600 something and some change a week, with no overtime is very, very little now in this economy. And I have debts as well to pay, so I've been working a lot more. Anyhow, I wanted to talk about why telling people to get another job, to just get another job, if you don't like where you're working at, is probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I'm going to tell you why that doesn't work. So, in this economy, the jobs that hold up this economy are the people that are working at the gas stations. They're the people that are working at McDonald's, the people that are working at Taco Bell, all those fast food chains you see every 10 feet or so when you're driving. Those people have to work those jobs, because if nobody works those jobs, number one, then who else is going to work them? Number two,
I don't agree with that statement. They are bringing in migrants for a reason. Fast food workers are not running this economy. There are many of us who work white collar jobs like myself, that are contributing to society in many ways. In my case, contributing in terms of drug development with diabetes, cancer, and whatnot. So there again, it's that attitude, that pessimism, and I'm just shocked because this man has thousands of views and thousands of subscribers that kind of co-sign this theory and his thought process. But let's go on.
People aren't able to pay their bills with the jobs that hold up society. All of these jobs hold up society that people work at. McDonald's, Taco Bell.
If you're having trouble paying your bills, it's time to get a second job. If you're having trouble paying your bills, it's time to go back to school and acquire a skill set. I don't care if you have to get a roommate, maybe one roommate, maybe 2 or 3 roommates, but it's time for you to do whatever you need to do to make more money, to make life easier for you.
The Thorntons that I'm looking at right now across the street, all these little jobs that people say should not be paying any kind of living wage, that's another video. I think if the government stops mismanaging our money, and if they stopped taking out so much in taxes, we would not have to worry about people complaining about raising wages. But that's never going to happen. The government's going to continue mismanaging our money.
It's not the government's fault. The government is not taking your entire paycheck to pay for taxes. And if anything, if you're working at a minimum wage job, you are receiving some sort of government subsidy, some sort of government funding. So I don't get his argument. I don't get it.
And continue wasting it. That's a whole another, that could be a whole nother video, to be honest. But you can't just tell people to go back to school, get a better paying job, take out a loan. Like, people cannot afford, in America, you cannot afford to buy anything of significance without getting yourself into debt. Okay? This is the problem with America. You can go to university. Can you go to university?
So I'm hearing you say that a college degree is unaffordable, and a lot of people will say that college is unaffordable. I don't want a student loan. You're dumb for having student loans, but yet you'll take out a loan on the car, and the car will be in the junkyard within 10 years. So what's better? A student loan that will last you for a degree that will last you your entire lifetime, open up doors, give you a salary, a higher paying job, whatnot, opportunities for a lifetime, or a $50,000, $30,000 car loan that's going to be dead and gone in 10 years in a junkyard. What's better? Because everybody has cars these days. Everybody seems to have cars these days, but it's become a trend and popular to go hard on people who have college degrees and college debt. But there's a reason why we chose to go to college. It's because we didn't want to live like this person here. Let's go on.
Go to a community college, yes, you can. But what are poor people going to do who work at these jobs, who are barely affording, they can't afford gas? What about the people who can't afford cars? What about all the people, you think a lot of these people in minimum wage jobs, you think they're able to afford to take out a huge student loan? Do you think they have the time?
I was born into poverty. I was born to a single mom who was 17 years of age. She went on to have 3 kids all on her own. The only way to climb out of poverty is to acquire a skill set. I watched her go to college and get her bachelor's degree with 2 kids as a single mom. That's the only way. And so many people don't want that temporary inconvenience of struggling, of working very hard for 4 years to live good the rest of their life. They don't want to sacrifice for 4 years to live the remaining years of their life very well. They don't want to do it. So instead, they stay at these low-paying jobs and just complain, and scapegoat.
To be able to study, even if they're fortunate enough to go to university.
Yeah, the government wants them to.
You can't. Everybody in this society is not. This society is not set up for everybody to win at this game of life. Okay, it's set up for people to work as a slave in this system and make the most amount of money for these corporations, so the rich can get richer and the poor can get poorer. I mean, that's the way it is. That's why this is what society is held up by. Society, people who work these low minimum wage jobs like myself, who work at these factories, who do these horrible jobs nobody wants to do. These are the people that hold up society. The people who make the money are the ones who are in corporate America, one of the CEOs, the CFOs, the higher ups, the managers, the top dogs. Those are the people that make the money. The blue-collar people who work these jobs normally are not making 100 plus K a year. And even if they are, it's not a lot of money anymore. $100,000 really is not a lot of money. If you were to go back 15, 20 years, sure, you could buy a house on 100K. You could easily live on $100,000 a year. $100,000 a year was a very respectable salary. It's a lot of money back then. But times have changed. Inflation is through the roof. It is not going down anytime soon. People cannot live on these jobs. There are no jobs that are paying 100 plus grand a year without not only education. You need years of experience. You need education. You need all three, really. You need education.
Nobody is forcing you to live with these jobs. No one is forcing you to accept minimum wage pay. You are choosing to do it. You are choosing not to start a business. You are choosing not to go back to school. You are choosing not to acquire a skill set, and therefore you are reaping the consequences of your actions and your choices.
Okay, which, unless you're rich, you got to get into debt for. So you got to take out a bunch of student loans, and that's again that you're buying a lottery ticket, a very expensive lottery ticket. My ad, you're getting yourself into debt for a very expensive lottery ticket, to receive an education from hopefully a prestigious university you can go to. Hopefully you've been accepted, if you've been accepted into that prestigious university, or you're going to that college. And then you got to study your ass off. You got to study on weekends, you got to study after work, you got to be studying all the time, you got to get good grades.
I wonder why he feels like you must go to a prestigious university. And a degree is not a lottery ticket. We know that people who get degrees in science, mathematics, engineering, they make a lot of money. So if you're going to take that investment of taking on student loans, you need to get into one of those career fields. I don't understand this man. I know I keep saying that, but what he says just doesn't. It's just more woe is me, more pity me. I can't do anything to change my situation. I'm so pessimistic. I just wonder, does he have mental issues? I'm deconstructing narcissism. Does he have some type of mental issues? Has he been through trauma? What's going on?
You gotta go to school for years. Whether you're trying to be an engineer or a doctor, or you're trying to go into a trade, you got to work your ass off. Then on top of that, you get out of school and you're competing with all these younger people. 20s, 21, 22, 23. If you're older and you're in school, well, good luck. Good luck with competing, all these younger kids who are also trying to get into these trades, getting into these high prestigious paying jobs, engineer, doctor, lawyer, psychiatrist. All of these high paying jobs, there cannot be a high paying job for everybody. This society is not
What is he talking about? My husband is literally an older person going back to school, getting his degree in engineering. There is no competition with young people. You get your degree and you get a job. There are plenty of jobs looking for engineers, doctors, nurses, whatever. There are plenty of jobs. You're not competing against young people. If anything, these jobs want an older person because they feel like you're more responsible, you're more reliable, you know how to communicate effectively, you know how to handle holding down a job and handling your personal life at the same time.
run for everybody to be able to live the life that they want. Most people in America are poor. And that's the God honest truth. Most people in America are poor. Most people in America have to work these minimum wage crap jobs because that's the only thing that they can find. Like me, the current job I'm in. Do you think I want to work at this factory? No, I don't want to work at this factory. But was it the only thing I could find within 8-9 months? Yes, it was the only job I could find within 8-9 months of searching on Indeeds. I was searching on different websites as well. It was the only job I could find. I've had calls, and employers tell me that they would call me back. Never happened. This economy is just awful, and telling people to just go and get a better job, like it's just supposed to be this one and done simple thing. Like we're living in the best of times right now, and jobs are just handed out like Halloween candy. It's not true. It's blatantly false. I don't care what news station outlet you're watching, whether it's Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, or whoever's giving you, whoever's feeding you this bullshit information. But you cannot just go out and get a better job, okay? Even if you have the experience and you have the education, if you don't have the connections, you are not getting into a better paying job, and that's just fact. You need to have connections in this life. You need to have come from at least upper middle class, with parents who are successful, at least semi-successful to very successful. You need to have parents who have had taught you either a trade or have their own company, or you need to have some parents who have assets, or have people in your life that who can get your foot in the door to whatever career it is that you may want to do. Okay, it just doesn't work out. Joe Schmo.
That is completely untrue. I just told you guys my story. I told you guys I grew up in poverty. I told you guys how my mom showed me how to climb out of poverty. This is not about nepotism. This is not about, being born with a silver spoon in your mouth. This is about being lazy. and it's about playing the victim and wanting to be a victim. That's this man's problem.
Joe Blow or whatever, who graduated, from university and has their degree in computer science or engineering, or Susie Nancy or whatever, who has her degree, who graduated from nursing school and now is looking for a job as a nurse. It doesn't work like that. You can't just be some random person who graduated from a university, or some random person who took some courses on welding or plumbing, and expect to be making 60, 70, 80, 100 grand a year after you get out of school and after you're done studying. No, they don't want people who have education. What is educate? The education doesn't mean anything. It's what you can do. It's the experience that you have, and it's how well you can work. What can you do? Can you fix any toilet? How well can you work? Can you do that in a reasonable amount of time? Are you are you one of the best plumbers in town? Do you have a lot of experience? Who taught you? Do you have years of experience? Oh, you just graduated out of the university and you're just now looking to get into plumbing or welding, and you have no actual hands-on experience? Well, geez, that's kind of too bad. They're gonna look for. There are plenty of other people who are going to be able to fill that position. I mean, it does not matter if you have the education, especially if you don't have experience. Forget connections. If you don't have experience, you're fucked.
That's not true. It's called internship. Whether you go to a trade school or whether you get a 4-year degree, they make time for you to do an internship. Therefore, you can acquire skill sets and show these employers what you can do, and you move up the ladder slowly. If you don't like being an employee, you work as an employee for maybe a few years, and then you start your own business. This is how it works in America. No one is forcing you to be a W-2 employee.
You're fucked. You better find a way to get that experience. Whether you better do a free internship, or you better know somebody who can give you that experience. Whether, like I said, whether you want to be a mechanic, whether you want to be a nurse, whether you want to be an engineer, whatever it may be, you better have that experience. Because when you graduate from university, when you graduate from whatever school you're going to, and you get out into the real world in 2024, education is not going to cut it. You better have either a lot of experience and a lot of education, or you better have at least you better have connections up the ass. You better have connections like never before. Because Joe Average Blow, who graduated from university, on top of all these other people who graduated from university, who are all fighting for these high-paying jobs, you're not going to stand a chance against these other people that are competing against you. It is only going to get worse out here, is what I'm saying. As jobs become scarcer, especially high-paying jobs, as employers' requirements keep going up and up and up and up and up through the roof, things are not going to...
What he means is he doesn't stand a chance. As someone who graduated from university, I have never had any issues getting a job, getting a high-paying job. What scares me the most is this man is attractive. This is an attractive man. And what I'm finding is some of the most attractive people have some of the nastiest attitudes, have some of the worst mental health issues. They don't want to get help. They don't want to get therapy. They don't want to stay on their medication plans. And this man is going to make some lady, some man's life miserable one day, some spouse's life miserable one day. They're going to get with him because they see him as attractive, good looking, and they're going to realize, man, this dude is messed up in the head. He's just going to make my life a living hell. I think I'm going to stop this video here because I don't have much more to say. I'm concerned because, like I said, it has thousands of views. And this is the type of attitude a lot of people have in this country. And these are the people that are voting. These are the people that are getting on the internet, bashing people, scapegoating other groups of people, scapegoating blacks, Mexicans, gays, lesbians, scapegoating everybody else, but looking in the mirror and asking themselves, what can they change about their life and what can they do with their own life? They don't want to suffer for a little while to live good for a long while. That's all I have to say about this. So I'm going to get out of here. Take care, you guys, and peace.